What's up, guys? Ben STINARD here with BeastinFit.com, and I'm going to give you guys a glimpse of what a typical shoulder workout looks like for me. And alright, let's get started. So this first clip here, as you can see, I grab a light pair of dumbbells. I basically do pretty much every shoulder motion with the dumbbells before I start my workout. As you can see here, I'm doing a couple rotational movements just to get the blood flowing. Usually I start my workouts with a hoodie on. It's just comfortable for me. I like to be in a warm environment when I start my workouts until I get that mind and muscle connection going and feel the blood flowing, and then I start getting to action. But here, this isn't really a workout yet. Like I said, I'm just warming up. A couple rotational movements, now doing some side laterals. I'll do about 10 or 15 repetitions for each movement. So side laterals here, and then after that I'll do some front delt raises right here, still keeping it light. Same pair of dumbbells. I believe these were 17.5 pounds, and as you can see, I'm not really swinging my body around. I'm just trying to isolate the front shoulders here. And then when I'm done with my 10 or 15 reps of the front delt raises, I'll bend over and do rear delt flies, again trying not to sway the upper body up and down, just focusing on the rear delt. And I don't put my palms facing each other, I put my palms facing backwards, because that's how you target the rear delts rather than your back muscles. So to start my workout, here I am starting. I usually start with a shoulder pressing movement, and I would say more than half the time I do dumbbell presses. Once in a while I'll do the standing overhead press, and rarely will I do the seated barbell press. Personal preference is just the dumbbells for me. Seated barbell press, I don't really feel much. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't really enjoy it. So more than half the time I use the dumbbells, and as you can see, I'm starting with a lightweight, about 10 or 15 reps, and I'll do about 4 or 5 sets, increasing weight each set. I believe this was my third set, 75 pounds. I'm making sure I can get at least 8 to 10 repetitions with my sets here. And as you can see, I took my hoodie off. I'm starting to feel the blood flow, the pump. Things are going good. I'm feeling stronger, and I'm getting into action here. So about 8 to 10 reps here. And then I believe this was my either 4th or 5th set, which is my last set, my last heavy set here. I'm doing 90s for about 9 or 10 reps. Usually I can go up to the hundreds. Lately I've been cutting calories a little bit, so just to get leaner, so I'm not feeling 100% of my strength. So today I went with the 90s. I think I got about 9 or 10 reps here. And as you can see, like a lot of other people, I'm kind of leaning back a bit, sticking my chest out. This kind of incorporates your upper chest a little bit, which is going to help you get the heavy weight up. So sometimes, as you'll see here in the next clip, what I like to do for my very last set of the presses is I'll go back down to a lower weight, like right here, and I'll do about 10 or 15 repetitions again, just to kind of burn out. And then after I'm done with those reps, as you can see, I take my back off the back support, which forces me to isolate the shoulders themselves. And if you do this, you'll notice you're not as strong as you think, your shoulders aren't as strong as you think, and you'll be struggling to press something even as light as half of your max on the shoulder press. So this isolates the shoulders very well here. And after that, I usually get into the dumbbell side laterals. I would say more than half the time I like to do them seated. For this video, I'm just doing them standing for you guys. I'm starting with a lightweight here, about 10 or 12 repetitions. And then after that, I increase weight, just like the shoulder presses. I'll increase weight on each set, do about 4 or 5 sets. I believe this was my third set, 27.5. Another 10 or 12 repetitions here. Trying my best not to swing my body up and down with it. Trying to eliminate any momentum that might help me get the weight up. You want to isolate the shoulders here. Okay, and then my last heavy set, I believe these were 37.5s. So as you can see, I'm swinging the body a little bit. You know, when you're doing heavy sets, there's kind of no way around that. Whatever it takes to get the weight up. As you can see, I'm stopping a little bit, catching my breath, just making sure I can get the weight up for the last few reps. Okay, and then after I finish my 4 or 5 sets, what I like to do is a drop set, working my way back down. So I'm going to grab that heavy weight again, another 10 or 12 repetitions. Again, I'm swinging the body just a little bit to get that weight up. And I'm making sure my pinkies are high, rotating the dumbbells so that the medial delt is getting targeted well. And then I'll shake it off for about 10 seconds or so, and then work my way down a bit. So this drop set, I'll do 3 sets, 10 seconds in between each, 10 to 12 repetitions on each set here. So I think I dropped the weight for by about 10 pounds. Now I'm using the 27.5s. And my shoulders are definitely burning here, I remember. Okay. And then my very last set, I'll get back into the 17.5s. Shaking it off there. And we'll finish with another 10 or 12 reps right here. So that's that with the dumbbell side laterals. And then as you can see, sometimes I like to, as douchey as it looks, sometimes I like to flex and keep the blood flow going, keep the pump going between some sets, between exercises. Like I said, it might sound douchey, but it really keeps the pump going and it keeps the workout going well for the rest of the workout. So then I'll move on to upright rows, and I like to use the barbell. Sometimes I even use the Smith machine. I know some people like to talk shit about the Smith machine, but when it comes to upright rows, I really like using the Smith machine. I feel like it isolates the shoulders really well. But today I'm doing the regular barbell, and as you can see, I used straps as well. I don't like when my grip gives out before my shoulders on this exercise. Sometimes when I increase the weight, my grip starts giving out, and I start focusing so much on my grip that I can't even focus on the shoulders, and I don't really get a good shoulder workout. So I like to use the straps here, especially as I increase the weight. As you can see, I'm using the 35 or 45s on each side, and this is usually as heavy as I'll go for the upright rows. As you can see, as I increase weight, it starts getting a little sloppy, but that's okay because this is a heavy set. As long as you're not doing this for pretty much all your sets throughout your workout, this is okay, whatever it takes to get the weight up on those heavy sets. So I believe this was my either 4th or 5th set as I was increasing weight. I didn't record all sets. And then what I like to do to finish off the upright rows is a drop set. So I'll do 8 to 10 repetitions with 3 10s on each side. And my form looks okay. I start swinging the last few reps, and that's alright because it's kind of heavy. Strip it off, and I'm not using my straps. I'm not using my straps here just because I'm decreasing the weight. My grip seems fine when I'm using lighter weights. Finish with my 8 to 10 reps, rack it up again, strip it down, another 8 to 10 reps, and my shoulders are definitely starting to burn here, but that's what we want. I like to really fatigue the muscle and do drop sets on a lot of my exercises. And then I was only going to do 3 sets at 8 to 10, but I decided to strip it all the way down and really burn it out for a quadruple drop set. And then, as you can see, I'll move on to some isolation movements. And for those of you who have never done any isolation movements for shoulders on an incline like this, on an incline bench, I highly recommend it. Notice I'm not sitting on the seat or anything. I'm just kind of leaning my chest over top of the pad. And I'm not bringing the weight completely together. I'm leaving about 5 or 6 inches apart just to keep a lot of tension on the rear delt throughout the entire range of motion. And also, I like to, once the rear delts are feeling pretty fatigued, I like to start doing some side laterals in the same set here. About 10 or 15 reps of side laterals. So I was hitting the rear delts first for the first 10 or 12 reps, and now I'm hitting the medial deltoid here. So I'll do a couple sets of that, and then I'll move on to the front delt raises here. Nice and slow and controlled, just a slight bend at the elbows, focusing strictly on the front delt there. And as you can see, I like to play with my angles and move my palms backwards, move my palms together. When it comes to front delt raises, it doesn't really matter whether your palms are facing each other or behind you. And then once I feel pretty fatigued, I start alternating, because you can cheat out a few more reps this way once you feel fatigued doing them both simultaneously. And I'll also do a couple sets of that as well. And to finish my workout off, you'll notice I really enjoy doing a lot of rear delt work. A lot of people neglect the rear delts and the side delts, because most people focus strictly on their pressing movements when hitting shoulders, and for those of you who don't know, that really blasts the front delts. So I like to do a lot of rear delt flies to finish my workout. Cable flies, I would say I feel the burn the most with cable flies, even as opposed to dumbbell rear delt flies. And also, as you can see, I'm doing a little bit of rear delt flies and also pulling the weight up higher to get the medial deltoid as well. So I'm going back and forth, 10 reps each and then 5 reps each, all in one set, and I'll do that for about 2 or 3 sets. And then to finish off, I like to do it on a seat. I'll grab a bench and then slightly lean forward, and then do a couple more sets that way. And when you lean forward, you're gonna feel even more tension, and it felt a lot heavier here. I don't think I was able to do as many reps as I did the first time. But I'm leaning slightly forward, and I'm doing about 8 or 10 reps pulling up for the medial delt. And then when my medial delt gets pretty gassed out, as you can see, I'm doing rear delt flies. And then I'll repeat that again for another 5 reps each, and do another set of that to finish the workout. So that pretty much concludes the entire workout. Once in a while I like to actually flip the routine and do all my isolation exercises first, which pre-exhausts the muscle, and then I'll finish with my presses. And you'll notice you'll be about 10 or 15% weaker, which is great for growth. Alright, so that's the entire video there. Be sure to sign up on my website, beastinfit.com, for full access to all workouts, discussion videos, and discounts in my store. Thanks for watching, and catch you guys next time.